You ready?
Oh yeah, lightning's ready. Cars, we can all relate to them. We see and hear them every day in our surroundings. But maybe we're taking them too much for granted. In this video, we can guarantee you that you're gonna learn something new about them. But let's not rush here. Let's start way back. This is the history of the car.
In 1801, the Great Britain and France started to produce steam engine vehicles. The first steam engine vehicle was invented in Sweden by the brothers Cederholm in Ystad. Later, the combustion engine started to be produced. They were easier to start and more fuel efficient. In 1890, the combustion engine started to be more common than the steam engine. The combustion engine came into use during 1860 and 1870. Gottlieb Daimler and Carl Benz developed the engine so it could go on gasoline. Daimler built his first car in 1886, and it looks like a horse carriage but with an engine. The modern type of cars that we have today started to develop it in 1891 at the company Panhard in France. In 1908, Henry Ford, that lives in USA, started to produce cars that normal people could buy. Easier cars to drive and easier care was requested, and then the development have come to what we have today. The disadvantage that the first steam engine vehicle has was that it could only drive in 4 kilometers per hour, and every 15 minutes you have to fill the tank with water. But on the other side, the vehicle could drag about 4 tons. Then, when they developed the combustion engine, they were easier to start and more fuel efficient. During the First World War, the productions directed to the military, and the car manufacturing stayed by. In the middle of 1940, they launched new car models that was more streamlined. The vehicle increases very fast in Sweden in 1950 because they produce a lot of them, so the price went down and more people have money to buy a car. Saab and Volvo produced a lot of small cars.
Engine. The most important piece of a car is of course the engine. This is an animation on how it works. It's actually small explosions in an engine all the time. The explosions is what makes the piston move inside of the cylinder. This is what happens step by step inside of the cylinder. 1. The piston descends, sucking air into the cylinder through small open intake valves, and injects fuel. 2. The intake valves closes and the piston comes back up in the cylinder. All air and fuel compresses. That way the motor gets more powerful and efficient. 3. A spark ignites the compressed air and fuel, and the result is a small explosion inside of the cylinder. The explosion makes the piston go all the way down in the cylinder again. 4. The piston comes back up and presses the used air and fuel mixture through the exhaust valves. Generator. A generator is a machine that converts mechanical energy into electrical energy. It works pretty much like an electric motor, but instead the electric motor does the other way around. It converts electrical energy into mechanical energy. The generator is a very important invention because almost all of our electrical energy we use is coming from generators. An electric generator uses something called electromagnetic induction. This is a small animation on how it works. Like a pump pushes water through a pipe, magnets is pushing electrons through wires.
The most sold car models 2014 is 1. Volvo V70, 2. Volkswagen Golf, 3. Volvo V60, 4. Volkswagen Passat, 5. Volvo XC60. The car today develops all the time. The world is hungry for more environmental friendly cars. Manufacturers are trying more and more to make cars that is powered by environment friendly gas and electricity. Sweden are trying to make people buy environment friendly cars by eliminating the car taxes for 5 years. Sweden's total carbon dioxide emissions was 40 million tons year 2012.
Stainless steel corrosion resistance comes from the steel alloyed with chromium. When chromium connect exceeds approximately 12% at an adherent film that passively projects enduring steel against future oxidation. 2. Aluminium is a soft lightweight metal that is silvery to grey in color. It's very good conductor of both heat and electricity. 3. Rubber used for tires some details of the car. The rubber is good and they can withstand a lot of lightning strikes in the car, so the rubber don't disappear. The fabric of the car used for interiors of the car.
Future cars. Audi A3 e-tron is an electric and gasoline hybrid car. The electric engine has a radius around 30 miles on one charge. The car can go around 138 miles per hour with the gas engine running and around 80 miles per hour with only the electric engine. The car is built of low-weight materials, but with still high quality to lower the weight of the car, which leads to lower fuel consumption. The car is not yet available in the US and UK and most of Europe, but it can be found in Germany with a price around $50,000. Tesla Model S is a completely electric-driven car, which is built like a sports car to lower the weight and the air resistance to the car so it can go faster and easier with less effort, which means it doesn't need as much power to drive. The base Tesla Model S is delivered with a 60 kWh battery and an engine providing 302 horsepower. With the updated 85 kilowatt battery, you expect to drive around 265 miles in one charge. Audi A7 Sportback is a car powered by a fuel cell that only consumes one tank of hydrogen per 310 miles, and it only exhausts some water, hot air and some hydrogen. The car is a hybrid and is powered by an electric engine with a fuel cell as its power and another electric engine with a battery as the power. The fuel cell works by a node that gets supplied with hydrogen that gets broken into electrons and protons. The protons go through a membrane to a cathode, and when they react with the oxygen, they create water vapor on one of the sides, while the electrons on the other side makes electrical power. The car is better for the nature than normal cars, because the emission of the car is only water and some hydrogen and hot air. The car doesn't cause the nature as much damage as normal cars, because it doesn't have the gases that's lethal for nature.